19, we're discontinued. Still west on Oblique Broadway, coming up to approaching Verdugo.
So what we're going to do is we're going to flow. And I'm literally going to make this up. We're going to go from stick, we're going to go to knife. I'm going to say break into hubud, pull back out, grab your blade. I'm going to throw the blade on the ground. You're going to go for the ground. You're going to go for the blade. So we're going to have tons and tons of drills where you have to make choice decisions instantly. And when you get used to training this way, when it actually happens, you'll be able to do it. Okay? So I'm teaching you how to do it, but I'm also teaching you how to teach it. I'm going to smack his hand. Okay? That's the appropriate response. Whatever angle comes, I'm going to hit that hand. Okay? Oops, sorry. Now, if Jack is about that far away and he throws that angle, I'm going to still hit the hand. I've learned the same attribute. The only thing I didn't do is connect with his hand. Okay? So we're going to spar. Hit me. So every time, boom, I would actually hit. I would actually hit. But now we do it from here, boom, boom, boom. So now we're moving around and we're sparring. We're not just arbitrarily moving that weapon. I'm reacting to him and he's reacting to me. If we were connecting, if we were here, each one of those would be connecting. So it's not like you're just out here moving, but you're reacting with each other. Okay, so watch one round of Jack and Ryan sparring without hitting. That's why we had what's called the lopsided drill, to teach you to roll here. Or if I pocket here and he pushes, I roll. So one way of diverting energy is your elbow. Another way of diverting energy is to take it with this hand. And then I push and he goes. And then in there you learn when to do this, when to do this, you know, when to put in the tools. So these are all simply ways of diverting energy. So if he's like shoving me here, I need to learn how to get rid of that energy so I'm not struggling with him. Most of the time when you're in this struggling match in here, that's not what you want. On the other hand, when I feel him struggling, if I just pull a little bit, boom, I'm in complete control, boom, to do what I want. So you learn to ride his energy. We learned that how quickly somebody either with a knife or empty hand can close that distance. So we learned that when they start coming in, we run and then we pull the baton to give us enough space. Okay? Very, very important lesson to learn. So let's do just what you did. Could you guys spread out a little bit? Okay? What he did was perfect because he ran quickly And then you're always going to get, never turn your back on your opponent. No, just stand there and let him beat your head in, okay? I'm telling you what works. I can guarantee you sometimes turning and running to get space works. All right, ready? You're in a parking lot, whatever. You just flash your lights, you just got out of your car, you're talking to two people, and all of a sudden, this is not a gun situation, not a lethal force situation, but out of the clear blue sky, they decided to charge you, okay? Do just what you did. Everybody do it because they did it perfectly, okay? Encroaching. In boxing, they call it cutting off the ring, but it's a very sneaky way to get close, okay? Now, Sue so appropriately looked at me and said, I wish you'd hit the damn drum, okay? Because she was sitting here. You were about here when you started. Who was the other guy? Jack. Okay, and Jack was about here. And Sue, your comfort zone, you were comfortable right here. Now, while they talked, they started slowly walking in. And you started getting more and more nervous, right? What would you do in an altercation at this point when they start coming closer? Okay, now let's say that you're against the wall and they're not threatening you, but they're slowly walking towards you and you have no place to go. And you don't know they have a knife. What will you do? Okay. Okay, I don't have a holster, so I'm going to be able to draw this weapon a lot quicker probably than you will be able to. Okay? You have a incorrect idea of range with a knife. When I said one side pull out a knife, the other side run and then turn and draw your weapon, you all ran about 3 feet. Okay? That put the distance between you and your assailant at about 10 feet. Don't work. Won't work. Okay? I want you to clap. This is about where you ran and decided to draw your weapon. Okay? So I want Nick. I want you, I'm not going to look. Get over here. I want you to clap, Nick. And when you clap, I'm going to not know that he has a weapon. I'm talking to him. He's going to draw his weapon and come very fast and start cutting me up. Do I have a rubber knife? Okay. That's your destiny, gentlemen. Okay? So, when I see him pulling a blade, okay, I'm running. I want that gap to be, a lot further before I pull my weapon. Now, of course, there's the what-if scenario, and we can what-if forever, and what if you're in a bar and you don't have that much time to run, and what if, and what if, and what if. But if you're, let's just deal with one thing at a time. And the one thing at a time that I want you to see is how quickly that man can close that gap with that weapon and catch you before you can draw your weapon. Okay? So why don't we isolate that right now so we can ascertain our distance? Okay? So I want all of you to holster your weapon. Okay? Have it ready. I want your partner to have a knife. You're going to just be kind of talking. I'm not going to be hitting the drums. Okay? Could you stand up, Nick? So it'd be like this. You're the bad guy, Nick, and I'm talking. And you don't really have any idea, okay? I don't have any idea that Nick is about to come at me with a blade. And I'm saying, sir, what is the problem here? Go. 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 And that's what I want. And I want you to find the range, okay? Dan Inosanto wrote in his book, the Filipino Kali Academy, which is a school that I studied, that was the foundation of what you're learning right now, came from that school. It's not about learning techniques. It's about learning experiences. Dan would have us fight 2-on-1, 3-on-1. At one point, we always would mix weapons, knife against stick, stick against double stick, staff against knife. One day he walks out with his big leather knapsack and he starts pouring out a bunch of shit. Looked like he cleaned out his garage. He had a fender, a tire iron, just a bunch of crap. He goes, everybody grab a weapon. We're like, okay, you know, and pulling out, just so you learn to fight with different things. And one experience is worth 1,000 words and 2,000 techniques. So the purpose of this next drill is for you to ascertain what your safe distance is to draw your weapon in a kill situation when somebody is coming at you, okay? What this drill teaches you is to make a decision quickly. And the decision is fight or flight, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to have two people moving around as if they were sparring, having to fight, okay? Just as if you thought you were going to do the rat system or maybe just defense. Maybe you get some boxer up on his toes moving, whatever, okay? You might be in your civilian clothes. You might not have your weapon. We could always say, if a guy's up on his toes moving like that, I just draw my asp. I understand all that, okay? But this is a drill, just like doing chi sao. It's to develop the ability to learn whether to fight or flight, okay? So you're going to be up on your toes. You're going to be moving around as if you were fighting this guy empty hands. I'm going to take a knife and I'm going to throw it. The knife never gets equal. It's not possible. It always favors one person, okay? I want you to go for the weapon. I want you to do the logical thing. There's a weapon, okay? If you think you can get the weapon, you get the weapon to protect yourself. If he is on his way to the weapon and there's an eclipse between you, him, and the weapon, you just, boom, shove this guy, because when somebody's running this way and they get hit this way, you can really get a lot of power. So that's where Tai Chi comes in. Shove his ass out of the way and grab the weapon. If you go to grab the weapon and he already gets the weapon, okay, Ryan, stand up. Jack, stand up. Okay, where's the knife, please? Okay, so we're here. Okay, back up a little bit. Now we're just going to walk through this slowly, but most of the time, we both go for the knife, and I get it first, boom. That always happens. You'll watch this happen 95 out of 100 times. What mistake did Ryan make? I'm sorry? He continued toward the knife when? Even though, exactly. There is a decision that you need to make, and this could be a gun, this could be a pipe, you could be in your living room with your wife and kids, okay? But there's a choice you need to make, girl, and that choice is, boom, I'm this way. Okay, next two in. Ready? Nice, Gary. Yeah. Okay, ready? And go. Yeah. Please read all these manuals of knife disarms. Empty hand knife disarms. Try it. Go ahead. X block, disarm, this, that, poke his eye. Oh, I just kick his kneecap. Okay? Come on, please try one of those. I dare you. Okay? Ready? Ready? And go. Good. Good. Okay, ready. Good. Enough space that you're not this close drawing the weapon so you can be tackled again. Okay, and I didn't see really that much yesterday. We all ran far enough away. What's the major theme here? Space, distance, yeah. Yeah, I have a knife article coming out, and it's a February issue. It'll be out in the mid-December, okay? Read it. It's all about distance. It's all about footwork. It's all about the controlling of the gap between you and whomever. And that is the main criteria for winning an altercation, whether it's a stick or a knife or a gun, okay?
If you notice in our seminar, you don't see me doing a lot of focus glove or air shield or kicking drills. When you teach police officers, you can't put them on the same ground as the average suspect. The average guy out there is going to punch and kick. That's what they do. We need to have a different game plan. We need to have a way to intercept the punch, get in, straight blast, headbutt, knee, and elbow, pick up a knife, ground fight, who-bud, energy drills. We need to have the whole gamut. So this is why we talk about philosophy. We talk about the different altercations, the intensity, controlling the emotions. These are the points that are important, not just punching and kicking focus gloves.
Okay, so we raise, we slap, and we hit. When we do the lopsided drill, we raise, we pull, and we hit. So all I want you to do is to be able to go from drill to drill. So we'll start off with the drill that we did yesterday, which is the lopsided drill. So you start with your elbows connected right to left. You pull and you hit, you pull and you hit, you pull and you hit, you pull and you hit. Now, as I pull and punch, instead of punching, I pull and slap. And that turns it into this drill. If I want to go back to the other drill, when I raise, instead of pulling and punching, I raise and I slap again. So we can go from drill to drill. Now, if I want to switch, what do? The hand that punches grabs. Now we're on this side. Now when I slap, I'm going to slap, and we're in left-handed sheath out. I'm in who-bud. Now I pull, and we're back to here. Now I switch, and we're back to here, and pretty soon we're flowing. And this is what you will both be doing. Everybody will be doing this. And when you see we can do this, we don't have to look, we don't have to, it's just all feel. So that way when he punches and we go bam, and we'll get in here, it just feels really nice. Because wherever you're at, you feel it. This is your neighborhood. You know your knees, you know your elbows, you know your arm wrenches, you know your groin shots. Everything you have is there. You know all your tools. The main message that I convey to military doesn't have to just be SEALs, it can be Rangers, it can be anybody. SEALs just happen to be the younger kids, generally speaking. Not always, but generally speaking, okay? And the main message that I want to convey to people is to be able to keep a cool head. And if you can keep a cool head under pressure, see, if you could only tell this to captains, if you could only say, look, if you teach your guys how to use deadly force appropriately, and if you teach them how to put on the choke the right way, and if you teach them how to headbutt and knee and elbow and eye jab, they're going to be less likely to hurt people. Seems like a paradox, but it's not. And you can say that till they're blue in the face, and then they don't usually understand. Okay? So what I want you guys to be able to understand is you've got this inner confidence. And this inner confidence is that no matter what situation arises, you've got an answer for it. Okay? What is the reason why people panic? Is it because they don't have They don't have the balls? No? Is it that they don't have guts? Is that why they panic? No. That's not why they panic. You can look at the young cadets right out of the academy, okay? They're tough guys. They're like, yeah, let's go, gung-ho. So why do they panic? They don't know what to do. Something comes up that they have not addressed before. And when that happens, it's like, forget it. Okay, the theme for this morning, the next 2 hours, is putting everything together. Okay? The last piece of the puzzle I wanted you to have was this hubud. That completes our energy drills. Okay? So the lopsal that we did yesterday with the hubud drill today, lopsal drill comes from Wing Chun, if you're interested. Hubud is a Filipino energy drill. Wing Chun occupies center line. They force the opponent to go straight, and they go in with the straight blast. Okay? Kali, which more or less gives center line, they force the opponent to come in, and they zone. So hubud gives you more zoning, okay, and the lopsal gives you more center line. And when you put the two animals together, it's a nice cocktail, okay? So that's the last piece I wanted you to have is energy drills. Now, what I'd like to do is I'd like to spend the majority of this morning reviewing, okay, and reviewing it all in one round. So, and also I want to give you a principle that can enable you to teach for 25, 28 days, 30 days straight and never repeat yourself. Think of the digits of a phone number, and then think of how many combinations you could have when you start intermixing those digits, okay? So let's name one digit that we learned. What was the first thing we learned? Is high jab, okay? We learned shuffle kick to the groin. We learned destructions. We learned straight blast. These are all digits now, separate entities. We learned headbutts, elbows, knees. We learned largo mono drills with the weapons. Upward figure eight, abanico, high, low, high. We learned lock flows. We learned energy drills. We learned ground fighting. Now, let's just take those. I don't want to go through the whole thing. You got the idea, okay? Now, let's say each one of you are teaching a class, and you've taught them each one of these things individually. Now, here's where you have enough well of knowledge. Your well is endless. It has no bottom. You just flip a coin and go, okay, stick fight. Now they're moving with a stick. All right, drop your stick. Energy drills. Boom, they kick in energy drills. Okay, go to lock flow. Now you're in the lock flow. Now name something. Rat. So from lock flow, they push off, punch, boom. Now they're into rat. Boom, boom, boom. Name something. Knife. Pull out your knife. This is all one flow. All right? Now, if we wrote that down, what would we do? Energy drill, stick flow, knife, and rat. Okay? Now, we turn it around. With those same four things, we go, okay, rat. Okay, break into energy drills. Break into knife. Throw down the knife, go to lock flow. You see what I'm saying? If you have this principle, you have enough knowledge forever. I mean, if you look on a computer, how many combinations can you have with 7 digits? And we have more than 7 things. And the beauty of this is you're putting it together because that's the way a fight is. Everybody wants to make the street. They want the perception of the street to be in some nice little neat, tidy package, okay? And it's normally, well, we don't want to hurt him, so we'll do these little things and we'll squeeze him here and we'll do this. And well, what if he pulls out of this? Well, just do what you got to do. I don't know what do what you got to do means, okay? I never learned that. So we know what we got to do. And we got to flow. And if what we got to do is flow to a lock flow, we do. And if from that lock flow he breaks a bottle and your life is in danger with a piece of glass stuck in your face, then you, bam, you go to the eyes, you blast the head, you pull out your weapon, you lose your weapon, you end up on the ground, you bite, you kick up, you get back up, you pick up your weapon. These are all the myriad of scenarios that can happen in a street. And what I want you guys to be able to do, if I had my chopsticks, I could have caught him. Okay? What I want you guys to be able to do is to convey this information to your potential students. If you didn't get anything out of this course, I want you to have gotten the fact that you need to be able to flow from thing to thing to thing. That's it. It is the transitions in altercations that screw people up. That's when they freeze. All of a sudden, they're out of bullets. They drop their weapon. They have their knife. They lose their knife. They have a pool cue. It breaks over someone's head. They're sitting there holding a little piece going, or they're standing up. Then they end up on the ground. Or they're ground fighters and 3 people come. Anything that deviates from your norm, okay, rattles you. And when you're rattled, you have no prayer. On the other hand, Iomoya, using no way as way, okay? If you ask Dan Inosanto, what would you do if you had a stick fight? He'd look at you and you go, a stick fight. Yeah, but trick question, what if you had to ground fight? What if you lost your stick and went to the ground? He, well, then I'd ground fight. Yeah, but what if you were on the ground and 3 people came? Well, I'd kinemutai and I'd get back on my feet and grab a weapon. Well, what if, you see what I'm saying? He's got an answer because he trains that way. And this is the way I was trained, and this is the way I train my people. You can't put things in a neat little tidy package, okay? Because there is no neat little tidy package in the street. In the street, anything and everything can happen. Yeah, when you're biting, you know, bite 1001 and then let go and kick. If you bite and hang on and hang on and hang on, which, you know, if this is a one-on-one battle in some UFC or something that allows biting, that's what I'd recommend doing, okay? But there is no UFC that allows biting. But the only reason we're biting is to create space. And the only reason we want to create space is to come to our feet, okay? How many fights have you seen in these ultimate fighting challenges or these no holds barred when they hit the ground and spend 20 minutes down there? Okay? Would you like to do that in the street? Now, let me ask you a question. Rent in your local Blockbuster any video of one of those matches. Watch them fight and see how many opportunities they have to gouge each other's eyes and bite. And then ask yourself with common sense, if they were doing that, would the match last a half an hour on the ground? Okay? Think about it. Okay? So the whole idea of the bite is just to create space, to get you back on your feet. All right, ready? Beautiful. Beautiful. Good job. Okay, after you bite, I want you to come to your feet, and instead of drawing your weapon, I just want you to draw your baton, okay? The person that was bitten, I want them to come to their feet. This is a flow drill, okay? Whether or not it would fit in the logistical scheme of street fighting with law enforcement is not the issue at the moment. It's like doing hubud, okay? So I want the person to bite. You're learning to come to your feet, and you flow from the ground right back to weapons now, okay? Then you get into baton sparring without making contact. And please be careful with that now. Keep your distance, okay? Yeah, don't swing ape shit. Just kind of keep it right in here, okay? Give me a baton, please. Okay, so just like this. You don't have to move any faster than this. This is the Armorov pattern. I don't want you, you know, going ape shit, okay? It's a distancing game. That's really all it is, okay? Yeah, so we're going to turn it in from an empty hand match to a ground fighting match to a baton match. I call it an ASP match. Break. Very nice. All right, this next round, we're going to show you what a tremendous advantage you have with your ASP and how to keep 2 people or 3 people away from you, okay? The Armora pattern that we had learned is kind of like your force shield, okay? So what we're going to have is we're going to have 4 people in at a time, and one of you will have the ASP, and the other one is just going to keep moving, keep circling, and try to keep them away, okay? Now, what you want to try not to do, actually I'm going to have 3 people in at a time. Okay, Jack and Ryan, please. And now Ryan or Jack, you have the ASP. Okay, now these guys are going to come in at Jack. Okay, here's what I want you to do, and here's what I want you not to do. Okay, we're all moving around. Okay, come in, and I've got the ASP, and I'm keeping this guy here, and I'm circling this guy here, and I'm circling this guy, and maybe I'll cut all the way around, so I've got him. Now I cut back here. Now I cut back here, and I'm hitting you, so you got to keep going. Yeah. Okay, but here's not what I want to do. This is the no-no. So you either keep traversing, or, and if it's empty hand and you're coming in, okay, boom, 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 whoa, oh, boom, boom, boom. Okay, so that is the idea. You want an eclipse, okay? So many people will have you do this. I mean, it's silly. Whoop, whoop. Okay? All right. Okay. Ready? Now, please, you guys, if you're the empty hand people, respect the range of that thing. Okay? Don't come flailing in like a bat out of hell. Okay, you jump in. Yep. You're all against Jack. Come, someone else? Come on. Come on in. More? Somebody else? Break, okay? If you need to wait for backup, you don't have your weapon or whatever, you can, as long as you have perpetual footwork, everything is footwork, range. First guy that walks in and gets his head split, the other 5 guys are a bit reticent when they come in, okay? Or if it's 2 guys or whatever. Or if it never happens in your whole life, you're learning to deal with that feeling. There is that feeling of mass attack. It is a really shitty feeling, okay? So I want you to deal with it. But what you never saw Jack do one time was what? Was dump in the middle. Yeah, he never jumped in the middle because that's where you can get blindsided. Little things like this, like that knife that we throw down and learning when to run, or when you get to the ground, biting, kicking them off, and pulling your weapon, okay? People don't address these points because they've not been in the street. They'll have you punching focus mitts and things. If you want to be a boxer, go do that stuff. Otherwise, address the street issues. And break. Yeah, refuse to get in the middle. Okay, ready, and sick 'em. Nice. Very nice. Break. Break. Beautiful. Go. Break. Beautiful. Never one time did he cut in the middle. Never one time. Larceny and Larkin. Here we go. Go. Break. Good.
Here, I want to do something, I think, for our instructors. I heard a lot of nice things about them. And first, I want to present Paul with a letter of appreciation to him and his staff for the job you've done here. And thank you so very much, Paul.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. My
Thank you
pleasure.
very much.
And also, we've taken it one step further. We've issued a proclamation. And November 12th will be Paul Vernick Day. And it'll be November 12th from this day forward, be known as Paul Vernick Day.
Holy moly.
So
Jeez. I don't know what that means. Thank you, sir, very much.
You're welcome. Along with that, whenever someone comes along in our city and does key work in our community, we like to recognize them and they receive the key to our city. So,
That could be trouble, sir.
yeah, it could be, but I understand you can handle it. Welcome to our city.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
All you've done.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
The mountain is high, the valley is low, and you're confused on which way to go. So I've come here to give you a hand and lead you into the promised land. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad traits, you go to school and learn the golden rule. So why are you acting like a bloody fool? If you get hot, then you must get cool. Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? Or what you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? Or what you gonna do when they come for you? You chuck it on that one, you chuck it on this one, you chuck it on your mother and you chuck it on your father, you chuck it on your brother and you chuck it on your sister, you chuck it on that one and you chuck it on me. Bad boy.